A lot of people compare Andy Ruiz Jr. to Buster Douglas. I see several channels. I'm not just talking about one. I'm talking about several. These dudes talking about how Andy Ruiz is a one-hit wonder. Literally, the dudes in comment sections leaving comments in boxing forums, Twitter, YouTube videos, leaving comments saying that Andy Ruiz is a one-hit wonder. He's just like Buster Douglas. Comparing Andy Ruiz to Buster Douglas. First of all, Buster Douglas was a fucking journeyman. Buster Douglas had been knocked out several times. He lost several times. The reason that was such a massive upset when he beat Mike Tyson was because he was a guy who had been knocked out previously. He was also a guy who had several losses, right? Mike Tyson at the time was undisputed, unbeaten, known as a knockout artist. Tyson had knocked out the dudes that had beaten Buster Douglas. The dudes that had knocked out Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson had beaten them. So that's why going into that fight, nobody gave Buster Douglas a chance. This guy's easy money. So that's why that was such a shock when he beat Mike Tyson. You can't compare Andy Ruiz to Buster Douglas. Andy Ruiz is not a journeyman. Going into the Joshua fight, Andy Ruiz did not have 5 losses. Andy Ruiz did not get knocked out 3 times. It wasn't like you were thinking to yourself, oh wow, this is going to be easy money because Andy Ruiz has 5 losses. He got knocked out 3 times. No, he wasn't a journeyman. He had 1 loss, and it was a very controversial and close loss. And many people felt he beat him. So if you think about it, if you thought Andy Ruiz beat Joseph Parker in New Zealand, then if you think about it, he was going into the Joshua fight unbeaten. So that was a fight between two unbeaten fighters, between 2 unbeaten heavyweights, Joshua and Ruiz. But people have this thing where they compare and they try to make it seem like, oh, Andy Ruiz is definitely Buster Douglas 2.0. He's gonna get knocked down in the rematch. First of all, Buster Douglas never lost again to Mike Tyson because they never had a rematch. For some reason, Mike Tyson never gave Buster Douglas a rematch. The guy who beat Buster Douglas was Evander Holyfield, a totally different style to Mike Tyson. Who knows? What if they would have immediately have a rematch? What if, we don't know. What if Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson would have immediately have a rematch? What if Buster Douglas would have beaten Mike Tyson again? How do you know? You don't know. He lost to Evander Holyfield 8 months later, but guess what? Evander Holyfield, totally different style to Mike Tyson. Totally different fighter. Right? And people are trying to say, oh, it's because he's ballooning in weight. He looks like he's fat, right? People are saying this. He looks like he might be fat. He was fat. He was fat going into the fucking Anthony Joshua fight. He fought Alexander Dmytrenko at 262 pounds. That's how much he weighed. He weighed almost 10 pounds heavier when he fought Anthony Joshua. So going into the Joshua fight, not only was he overweight, but he had a 4-week training camp. And he still beat Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be even better. He's gonna have an even better advantage because he's probably gonna be in the best shape of his life in the rematch. A, B, he's going to have a full 6 to 8 week training camp. So he's probably gonna be even sharper. He's probably gonna be even a bigger nightmare for Anthony Joshua. You cannot compare a guy like Buster Douglas, a journeyman like Buster Douglas, to a guy like Andy Ruiz Jr. You can't just assume. This is what you guys are doing. A lot of guys are just assuming, oh yeah, he's gonna. This is Buster Douglas 2.0. This wasn't like that at all. This was more. This was like a Orlando Salido versus Juan Manuel Lopez situation where a guy came in, destroyed the dude, and then 6 months later they had a rematch, and guess what? It happened all over again. He destroyed him. That's how this fight was. That's why I don't look at this fight like, oh shit, Joshua's just gonna walk through Andy Ruiz. I don't look at it like that at all. I think this is a very difficult fight for Joshua. And I will not be surprised in the slightest if he got knocked out again. That's all I have to say.